It is exactly a month until Josh Warrington tries his damnedest to wrestle away Lee Selby's IBF featherweight crown in Ellen Road here in Leeds. He's got his dream scenario. He gets to go for the world title, a level that very few thought he'd be able to get to. Now, some people still question whether Warrington really is world class, but I will say I've seen the guy fight live a few times, and when I first saw him in 2014, I saw he had that degree of polish beyond your typical bricks and mortar domestic British fighter. His defense is good, he's got a nice little neat footwork, and while we know he doesn't have devastating power, he rattles his punches off quite nicely, chips away, chooses his punches quite well. He's a nice little operator. He's definitely up against it against Selby. He's the rightful underdog here. The big emphasis on his beloved audience, maybe a bit too much there. They're absolutely bananas, the Leeds crowd, but they're not going to be doing the fighting for him. I think they are going to able to get him through some tough times in this fight and get the absolute best out of him. But as a lot of people think, this fight has kind of got Selby unanimous decision written all over it, I think. Unless Warrington is able to do something particularly special, it's hard to say. I think Selby has been a little bit flat in recent fights because he hasn't had the opponent to really bring the best out of him. And while nobody would consider Warrington a particularly special fighter, certainly at world level, there's enough domestic needle to this one, and Selby having not looked that great recently, that I think he's going to shift into fifth gear for this one, box very well, and very probably get the decision. Possible late stoppage, but I think Warrington's going to be going for it so much, not wanting to let his fans down, that he's going to be getting stuck in. I do think their styles will mix nicely. Both are neat fighters, neither of them are foul. They shouldn't have to be split up too much. I can see this being, I can see Warrington asserting himself with his work rate, and that's really what he needs to use. That's his best bet. That engine he's got is his best weapon to try and get Selby tired in those later rounds and just start to do enough to start to tip the rounds his way. Whether there'll be any biased judging, I don't know. I don't think there will be. I think Warrington needs to absolutely go for it to win this one, but the better natural talent Selby is odds on definitely to win this one. He's done very well, Warrington, with what he's got. As I say, he hasn't got those natural tools that you really need for world level. He's got such a deficit in power, and then he's not particularly quick. He's not particularly rangy or even skillful, because he's very good at what he does, but it's a somewhat limited arsenal. He has to get close. He has to get, and as I say, he uses his work rate. That's basically his weapon. So I expect a good fight. I'm happy for him that he's got this opportunity, especially in Leeds. I don't know. Of course, Manchester and Liverpool have got really rich boxing histories. Leeds has been a little bit in the back burner with that regards, but this is going to be a historic night. I hope he does his best. I do expect a competitive fight, but I do also see the Welshman Selby getting a well-earned unanimous decision and looking pretty good at it.